good, everybody? Um, so I guess this is gonna be video one. I had already made one, but I wasn't really talking about nothing too spiritual. In a way, I was, but I just decided to start this over. So I came all the way to the mountaintop. I mean, it's always a good place to connect and all that. Um, that's funny. You can hear a woodpecker. Okay, so I guess might as well start at the beginning, right? Uh, you know, um, one of my first things that ended up happening where it was pretty much just confirmation. And after that, like, I didn't doubt anymore. And it was funny because yesterday I met someone. I went for a walk, like, in the mountains, way more than what I planned to. But it was good, really challenging. But I met someone halfway there. And they ended up going back. I kept going. But, we were talking about spiritual things. So it was pretty interesting. So, anyways, my one of my first experiences was like, when I was younger. I had a lot of life and death situations already at that point. Like, I had almost drowned. I had crashed at 100 miles an hour. Like, in high school, like, my friend's sister had picked us up and she turned the light thinking this truck was going to slow down, like this U-Haul truck, but instead it sped up and it hit us. I was in the hospital for a little bit. Just a lot of things, and plus the gang violent stuff, and, cops pointing guns at your head, like thinking that they're actually going to pull the trigger. Which I think nowadays they probably would have, but back then I guess they practiced a little more. I don't know, discipline's the word, but caution maybe. Maybe they weren't so quick, so trigger happy, or something like that. But yeah. So there was all these life and death situations that I had gone through, and so at that point I started questioning God, like, what's going on? Because it feels like you're keeping me alive, you know. Because I did a lot of stupid things too. Like, there were times where people had guns and I would go up to them, like, you know, like, basically saying, like, not basically, like, it is what I said. Some occasions, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take that gun away from you. I'm gonna whoop your, you know, blah blah. And when I think about it, I'm like, damn, like, something must have been looking over me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just interesting. So, anyways, I was questioning God, and I was like, I'm gonna try to make this short. I know I'm already babbling on, but um, so, anyways, like, I started questioning God, like, what's the deal? So one day, I decided to ask him a question, and I go in my room, turn off the lights. You know what I mean? I say, I ask him a question, very specific question inside my head. You know, I'm like, I can't tell you what I asked, but anyways, so whatever. I ask him a really specific question, but I don't say it out loud, nothing. It's all in my head, lights off, everything, just to make sure. I was like, at that point, I was already aware of things. So I was like, I don't make sure no spirits, no nothing sees what I'm praying, like what I'm asking, nothing. So I go to this. I had started this new job. Few, probably like 30, 40 minute drive. I didn't know no one there. So this guy comes up to me the next day, and he's like, "Hey man, I don't want you to get all weirded out." And I was like, "All right." And then he's like, "But I had this dream, and I think it was for you." So I was like, "Yeah." I got excited. I was like, "Yeah, tell me, tell me." And he looks at me all weirded out, like this veterano dude. So I was like, "Yeah, tell me." He gets, like, he trips out that I'm not. I guess now I understand why, because I've gone through similar experiences. But at that moment, he was like, well, I guess, kind of looking at me like, "Man, this guy's not freaked out." So then after that, he gives me the answer to the question I had asked, and I was just blown away. Like, well, I wasn't actually. To me, I was happy. I was just excited. He was kind of tripping out, I think. But it was funny because I got it later. Like, it meant more for someone else to bring it, because then I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? Like this other guy, like, God made sure, like, he brought it me the answer through another guy. You know what I'm saying? So there was no doubt. There wasn't like, it's just me. I'm tripping. Like, that didn't really happen. Nothing like that. It was like this other guy, and out of all people, at that time, that's when I was in my whole thug life stage. That's all you're trying to do: prove yourself, this and that. Like, be the toughest. You know what I'm saying? All that. So this dude, like, after he shared his story, like, he had been in prison, all that. Now he ministered to kids on the weekend. So it was pretty interesting, you know what I mean? So he was, I guess at that time, I don't know. Like, I can't even say, I don't even know if he was more in tune or not, because I had already been going through things, but he definitely brought me the right person to bring me the message. I took it, I received it, because automatically when you're in that, like, you respect, like, it's sad to say, but we respect, like, oh, this guy went to prison, this guy, boom. So he got my attention, and then I was open to, but I didn't know that actually when he told me the message. Just after, it made sense to me, like, huh, what I mean? He told me his story about, like, how when he had his situation, you know what I mean? Like, it was pretty interesting. I don't, I would like to share a story, but I would have to ask first, I guess. But I remember the guy's name, but I haven't seen him since then, I left that job after, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was my first, and after I never doubted. Just like I told him, hey, if you answer this for me, I'll never doubt you. And I got my answer. So after that, like, there's times when life gets hard, right? But I know, you know what I mean? Things have happened since then. It's just gotten crazy. So that's it. That was I don't know, maybe you guys could relate. Like, if you want to comment and let me know how your experience went. I'm sure, like, I've learned now in life. I've seen more. I keep meeting more and more people, like, for most of your life you feel kind of alone with certain spiritual situations. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you can relate. Maybe you've had a similar story. If you want to share it and put it in the comments, or, you know what I mean? Most likely I'm posting this on YouTube. So, you know what I mean? Maybe IG. So, yeah. Let me know if you had similar stories. That was it, because basically it was like, I wasn't going to give myself credit. Like, somehow I magically put the answer into somebody else's head. So it was one of two things. Either, it's like the how nowadays it's like we are the gods and this and that. Like, there's really no higher being, but I wasn't going to give myself that credit. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like whoever the universal source, the creator, God, whatever you may call him, great spirit, like, he gave the answer. You know what I mean? And, I just, whatever, like, I just say he, but yeah, whatever you want to call it, the great spirit. Maybe it's not a he or a she, just, and, just universe, or, the creator. So, yeah, so that was, I wasn't going to give myself that credit. Like, oh, I put this information. So it was one of the two things. Either there is, the creator, or me putting this information in that person's head. And I know it wasn't me. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what it was. All right. So hopefully that connected with you in some way. And, yeah, let me know what you've been through. Peace. More videos on the way. Peace.
We used to wonder if heaven had a ghetto, but nowadays we just let go. Cause no one cares about the kids out there, and the truth is for the youth I feel scared. Used to wonder if heaven had a ghetto, but nowadays we just let go. Cause no one cares about the kids out there, and the truth is for the youth I feel scared. What happened to the real G's and man that I grew up listening to? I guess they caught the flu cause it spread like an infection. The lies and misdirection, these corporate scandalous snakes that spread their greed. The seeds that they planted, it was tares amongst the wheat, and it spread across the planet for all of us to eat. Like aspartame sweet, but twice as deadly. These sons of bitches spread off their cancer steadily. I choose to stay ready cause I got trust that maybe one day my people will finally wake up, homie, and get on up, and then break some doors down and catch these scandalous bastards with their pants and drawers down. So it could be war now. I sure hope the day who, cause they got no problem seeing us dead on the avenue. I'm hoping that you get a clue and realize we living it. Cause these bastards always thrive on their lies and concealing shit. We used to wonder if heaven had a ghetto, but nowadays we just let go. Cause no one cares about the kids out there, and the truth is for the youth I feel scared. Used to wonder if heaven had a ghetto, but nowadays we just let go. Cause no one cares about the kids out there, and the truth is for the youth I feel scared. Yeah, that's
That's right. Yeah, sometimes you just feeling it, you know what I'm saying? You just feeling it. And I wanna feel this way forever, forever.